So we put that h in. Then we're going to put the k in. So y minus, k, y minus 4. And that one we can just leave that way. And then that equals r squared, and our r is what? 3. So 3 squared is 9. So this is our final equation. Oops, it should be plus, sorry. So this is the equation of our circle. We're going to take that now and we're going to put it on our graph paper. So our center, they tell us it's negative 2, 4. So left 2, up 4. And then our radius is 3. So again, we're going every direction we can, 3 units. Up 3, down 3, left 3, right 3. And then again, try to draw our circle as best we can. Okay. All right. So our next problem here, they're telling me a center, and then they're telling me a point on my circle. And they want us to write the equation of our circle. So they've given me a lot of information. It's just kind of manipulating this equation. I'm going to tell you guys, this is essentially doing our distance formula. It's just we're doing it for a different outcome. We're not really trying to find, well, I guess we are kind of trying to find the distance between those 2 points. All right. So they say write the equation of the circle that has center of 1, negative 2, and it passes through, so they're telling us a point on this circle. So they've told us center is h and k, and then they're telling us a point, so they're telling us x and y. And again, our equation of our circle looks like this. Oops, I keep doing the wrong thing in the middle there. Plus. So I need to know what r is, and I don't currently. So we're going to have to figure out r, and again, it essentially is just doing the distance formula. It's going to feel a lot like that. So I have my x and y and my h and k. So it's saying take x and subtract h and square it. So 3 minus 1. So I'm just putting everything in the right spots in my formula. Plus, it says take y and subtract k. So negative 4 and subtract negative 2. And again, I don't know what r squared is, but that's what I'm going to figure out. Negative 4, this is going to be plus 2. So that's going to be a negative 2. Right? Are we okay with that? So I find out 8 is r squared. Now, the square root of 8 is not a very nice number. But to be honest, I don't really need to take the square root of 8. My formula asks for r squared to be left as r squared. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the pieces I need, which is my h and k and my r, and put them back into the formula. So the next step here is just taking this and putting it back into this formula. So again, when we write our standard form like we did for slope-intercept form, we put h and k, or we leave the x and y as variables. So we're going to do x minus h, and again, I'm leaving the x as an unknown now because we don't want a specific weak point, we want the whole set of the circle. Then we're going to do y minus k. So y minus negative 2, so right away I'm going to do plus 2 if that's okay. And then equals r squared, and so I'm just going to write 8. I don't need to do the square root and then square it and figure out that it's going to be some crazy decimal, and then when I square it, it's just 8 again. It's a lot easier just to write it as 8 right away. Does that make sense? Yeah, so that's all they asked for, the equation of a circle, and we found that here. Yep.
So we do this just when the square is like a number, decimal number.
Well, even if it wasn't, in the formula it says we want it as r squared, so we have to square it anyway. So just leave it squared is probably easier, unless we were graphing it and we actually wanted to know how big the radius is. I would just leave it this way. Okay? All right, our last one here. They're asking us to graph the circle just based off the equation. So this is kind of what we did on that little scratch piece of paper I gave you guys, or the homework sheet I gave you. So remember our formula. So what's h and k? Careful.
-3 and 0.
Yeah, so remember that h and k always look either the opposite signs of what we see. So this looks like a +3, but in the formula there's a minus sign in the front, so we do -3. And then the y doesn't have anything being subtracted from it, so that's just going to be 0. So -3, 0 is going to be my center. So -3, 0, so here we are. And then my radius is not 16. What's our radius going to be? 4. So r squared is 16. So if I want to figure out what r is, I have to take the square root. So it's going to be 4. Now if this is ever a decimal, just so you guys know, you just approximate it. It's not going to be perfect, kind of like when we're graphing and something's not a whole number. That's okay. This one happens to be a nice number. I'm going to go up 4. Left and right 4, and then down 4, and then we'll graph our circle. Okay. Yep. Yeah, we're doing a scrimmage, but yeah, kind of. So guys, so we are going to do a scrimmage. The scrimmage will be helpful if you guys have your formula sheet out. So if you guys could have this out, it's going to refer to the back side. So you're going to want the back side of your chart for this. Once you guys finish that, then you can get going on homework. And again, you'll want the graph paper. You need to graph 3 of the graphs, I think, in the homework tonight. Okay?